Hand on your heart and tell me what were you up to this afternoon. I know what you did this afternoon. IPL auction, India Bangladesh. IPL auction, India Bangladesh. Dinesh Karthik did not do that because he was prepping for Cricbuzz Chatter. Dinesh Karthik joins us to talk about day two of this second test match between India Bangladesh. Let's pretend the IPL auction is not happening at all because all our energies and all our focus is only on the India Bangladesh test match. India had a bit of an up and down day, and especially Pant and Shreyas here, they were having a bit of a party in that lunch session after post lunch session after Virat Kohli got out, and that's where the test match stands. India stitching together 314 runs in their first innings. Pant, Iyer missed 100, but they did not miss a trick there. It's that partnership of 159 that gave India an 87-run lead, which is pretty much as good as gold given how the pitch is behaving. Bangladesh in reply had to bat for 6 overs, no wickets, 7 are not out, and they trail by 80 runs. Dinesh Karthik, I promise you, no questions on the auction because I know you've not watched even a second of it. But this test match, India, given where they were at one stage, 94 for 4, thanks to Pant and Iyer, they seem to be now in a pretty comfortable position.
Yes, absolutely. I think if not for that partnership, we were really struggling. Let's be honest. I think the Bangladesh bowlers really bowled well, used the conditions, but they made use of that afternoon session when the ball is slightly old and it gets slightly softer. So it was good to see that partnership. And the beauty of that was they were attacking at the same time defensive, and they played at a good tempo. I mean, we're used to seeing other teams batting at a higher tempo. This was one such instance from both these players where they batted in strike rates upwards of 80, which was great to watch. And a lovely session of cricket there really got India out of the woods.
Now, Rishabh Pant is a bit of an evolving story in Indian cricket. 93 of 105, 7 4s, 5 6s, a strike rate of 88.57. Uh, how have you seen the evolution of Rishabh Pant, especially in this red ball format? He just seems to have different gears for different kinds of bowlers. Especially, he is more effective against quality spin bowling as well.
Yes, I think when the field is slightly up and he he has the ability to trouble the bowlers with the kind of shots that he plays. And what he's done over a period of time is he's played attacking cricket. So as soon as a spinner comes on, the mindset of the spinner is to get defensive. So their mindset is, let me keep it tight. He will make a mistake rather than let me look for his wicket, which will probably mean tossing up the ball a little more, changing the line to more positively outside the off stump. But they tend to go on the back foot because of the way he plays at the front foot. And that is good to watch. I think that is what happens when you get a certain name established over a period of time, saying this guy takes on the spinners. And that's what happens to Rishabh Pant. As soon as he walks in, the bowlers are under a little bit of pressure. They kind of change what has got them the wickets and try and figure out how to stop Pant from getting runs. And that plays to him a lot of the times.
Our Cricbuzz stats team tells me that this is the sixth time he's gotten out in the 90s. A, why does it happen so often? And B, would he be worried? Is it a concern for you, or is that something that he's made peace with, saying this is the way I will play, 100 or no 100, this is my style, I'm going to back myself?
I think he backs his style. I think the way he was batting didn't really look like he was getting flustered towards the 90s. The shot he chose, a cut shot for a single, soft dismissal by his standards. You know, we will see a couple of hundreds coming wherein when he gets to a 90, he's going to play two big shots. And that's only a matter of time before that happens, because he's the kind of batsman who's not going to take 30, 40 balls to get that 10 runs. He's going to go bang, bang, get it done in 2, 3 balls and just move on from the 100. And that's what we will see in the near future. I'm very, very sure about that. But for the moment, he did miss an opportunity and he will be a little upset with his dismissal.
On current form, on the way he approaches Test cricket, is he India's best Test batsman right now? I mean, I know Kohli is a bigger picture story. Of course, there's Rohit Sharma as well. But on current form this year, you reckon he's been the best?
He's been one of India's best batsmen in Test cricket, without a doubt. I think he has really upped his game. Good quality oppositions, tough conditions he's found. He's got 100 in Cape Town. He got a terrific 100 in the 5th Test against England. He's obviously, again, he had a good, small little cameo, you can say, 46 or 45 balls last time when he played Bangladesh. And this game, he's shown again his class under pressure consistently at various points in various ways during the game, but always finding answer by taking the positive option, which is great to watch as a viewer.
And his partner was ultra positive as well, the man at the other end, Shreyas Iyer. Now, he's another story that Indian cricket fans have kept an eye on. Now, his ability to negotiate the short ball has been a point of discussion But just the way he played that length today, is he showing you the signs of an evolving player? Is someone who's worked on his skill sets? Is he different now as compared to how he was, say, 12 to 18 months ago?
He is different. I think he has worked on a short ball, but this is not a great wicket to gauge how well he's played the short ball.
Yeah.
It is a challenge in the way that it is two-paced. So sometimes the ball comes quicker, sometimes the ball bounces lesser, sometimes it bounces a little more. So it's a challenge in that way, but it's not the speed of the bowler or the speed of the wicket that troubles him. When he plays on a wicket which is aiding speed and bounce, and the bowler is sharp by himself, that is when you can really judge what are the shots that he can come up against. And he could, in many ways, come out all trumps because he could back himself to play those pull and hook shots, which he did today as well with quite a good amount of control, which is good. And he is not thinking twice to take the short ball on. Also, the fact that he ducked for a few balls. So he is mixing depending on the length of the bowler, depending on the type of the bowler, depending on the kind of fields they're setting. So he is aware that they're targeting him with a short ball every time he walks in. But for the moment, in these conditions, he's got decent answers for it.
And no one will be surprised if he finds a place for himself in that squad against the Australian Test team for the 4 matches.
Oh, I think he definitely finds a place not only in the squad, in the 11 as well. I think he's India's most consistent test batter as well, along with Pant. So there is no reason why they would leave him out. I think he is, in many ways, sorted himself at number 6 for the moment. I'm sure he'll go up the order in time, but for the moment at number 6, he's doing what the team requires.
Right, and it's this partnership that helped India go past the 227 that Bangladesh scored. Rishabh Pant and Shreyas Iyer scored a 159-run partnership, but it took a beauty from Taskin Ahmed to get rid of Virat Kohli. The score was 94 for 3. I think it was the second over after the luncheon break. And credit to Shakib for getting Taskin Ahmed and Taijul to start the second session instead of going in with 2 spinners. And what a beauty to get rid of Virat Kohli.
Yeah, I think what happens is when you come back from a session, the fast bowler is at his freshest, and you want to use your best bowler at that stage against the best batsman. As we have spoken before, he has the potential to bowl good deliveries, and we saw that in T20 cricket as well. He produces wicket-taking deliveries, and that one to Virat Kohli was one such delivery, just on the 4th stump, just around the channel. Though this is an area that Virat Kohli has gotten out a few times, just outside the off stump. And, it was a good ball on that condition, on that wicket. But we know Virat Kohli's class. I think he would be thinking to himself, is there something he could have done differently to that ball?
Yes, the other thing that is worthy of mentioning from a Bangladesh point of view is how much they miss Shakib Al Hasan, the bowler in that first test match. He bowled 19.3 overs, wiped out the tail, got the wickets of Shreyas Iyer. Of course, Shreyas Iyer is not a tail ender, but got Aksar Ashwin as well as Mohammad Siraj. 4 for 17, and just goes to show how much they missed him as a bowler in that first test match.
Yes, I think yesterday you'd asked the question, who's going to trouble the Indian batters more? And we had said that Shakib and Taijul are the two most potent weapons that Bangladesh have, and rightfully so. They've come good again today. You could see with the harder new ball, it was Taijul's turn because of the angle at which he bowls at, the kind of bounce he's able to extract. But as the ball got softer and come the second new ball, Shakib took it on and took those wickets. And they were critical wickets at those crucial junctures to get those wickets, because if they hadn't gotten Shreyas Iyer out, Shreyas and Ashwin could have easily formed that partnership that they required. But they kept denting India constantly through the day at different points, just that one big partnership. But before and after, they found a way to keep getting breakthroughs.
Could they have done something different when Pant and Iyer were going great guns?
As a captain, I think sometimes you need to show the carrot, and that would mean that when a Rishabh is batting, keep a mid-on halfway up and challenge him. But the beauty is, it's very easy to say here, but even with a long on, Rishabh was hitting sixes literally with his single hand. So I don't think that too much could be done, because they know he's going to attack the spinners, and in spite of the fields being spread, he still ended up attacking the spinners. So there is not too much you could do. You have to understand these conditions. Obviously, in many ways, you need to be patient to get those wickets, and that's what they did.
And Taijul Islam's stock is rising by the day, isn't it, in that World Cricket Sensex?
Absolutely. I think whenever you play Bangladesh, he is one bowler that's going to be discussed before the match as to how we're going to be playing him. Are we going to attack him? Are we going to play? He comes wide of the crease. He comes close to the crease. He's using his crease well. And the fact that he's able to vary pace to a large extent. And with a hard new ball, it comes straight and it gets turned when it hits the seam. So he's a handful to manage. Shakib has the experience. Taijul is somebody who's been very consistent in the recent past for Bangladesh.
Yes, he was up for the challenge. But is Dinesh Karthik up for the challenge? You will find out in the hotspot. Hashtag Project KL Rahul. He was slightly tentative yesterday and his woes sort of worsened today. DK, is it technical or is he just mentally cooked?
Look, I think we have to understand mindsets of batters. Right now, you can see there's a lot happening in his mind. He's the captain. He probably hasn't got the volume of runs that he would want. So you can see he is under pressure. He's tentative when he's starting out to bat. And this happens to a lot of batters, literally every batter who's played for the country. You go through a spell where, you find runs hard to come by. It could be Asian conditions. It could be the new ball. And you feel that, yes, these are conditions that are made for batting and to score big runs. But sometimes when you don't get those runs every day, the mind keeps throwing doubts at you, and sometimes it keeps getting bigger and bigger. In his case, you can see he's tentative at the crease. He is not very committed to the front foot as well. He's hanging back, hoping that the ball would turn and then he could play the ball. But at times, he's trying to make an effort to make a play like this one. He stepped out with the hope that if there's anything full, he can take on the bowlers, but the ball pitched slightly away from him. It's not a technical error. I think there's a lot happening between the ears of KL Rahul at the moment.
Yes, Rohit will, of course, come back into the team as captain for the Australia series. Now, Shubman Gill got runs in the first test. Where does it leave KL Rahul for that series once Rohit returns? So is there uncertainty looming over his place once Rohit returns, or should selectors say pedigree over form?
Let's look at the recent past. I think, before these two Bangladesh tests, there were 3 against South Africa and 4 against England that he has played. And in those 3 tests, in those 3 plus 4, 7 tests, he's got 200s and 250s. And those are in away conditions, one in South Africa and one in England. These are tough conditions to play in. So as the support staff of the Indian team, when you look at him, he's got the skill. And, he's probably not going through the best of times with the bat. And you got to back him at this stage. I think also the fact that he's the captain of the Indian team, you just can't let go of him easy. I think he will definitely start the Australian series in the first couple of matches. And if things don't go well there, that is when questions will start to arise in a much bigger manner.
Well, they've got a test match to win. They've got a 2-0 target to achieve here with a big win in this Mirpur test match. Time now for Fast Forward with Dinesh Karthik. You need to take 20 wickets to win a test match. Predictions for day through wickets have fallen on the first 2 days. Given how this pitch is behaving, DK, what are your predictions for day 3 and what should India be looking at?
I think India should look to score somewhere around, or rather, I'll put it this way. India should look to get Bangladesh out by 250, 260. That'll give them 180 to chase. And that will be a considerably interesting chase if they lose a couple of wickets. So, they don't want Bangladesh to be scoring more than 250, 260. That is what I would think. And that is what India would like their sweet spot to be.
And can Aksar perhaps take a cue from how Taijul Islam bowled? Is there a specific length or a trajectory that you'd recommend?
Aksar is a very different bowler. He's taller. He's a slightly more, round arm release in the sense that he undercuts the ball a lot more. Taijul is more overspin to an extent. So very different bowlers. But the one thing that Aksar can do is trouble the batsman with the ball that goes straight in. And then there is the odd one that turns if it hits the seam. So that is a skill that Aksar has. And on this wicket, he will be a very potent weapon tomorrow.
And who's going to be the key tomorrow for India? Can we say maybe Siraj, joker out of the pack, because the focus has been on the other bowlers?
For me, definitely it's going to be Ashwin and Aksar. These two have to get 8 of the 10 wickets, and I can see that happening if they bowl hit good lengths. It will happen for sure.
And the top order from Bangladesh needs to score big, because that's their only way out in this test match.
Yes, they need their two big players, Mushfiqur and Shakib, to obviously use their experience and make sure the middle order counts. I think we have Litan Das as well, who's looking attacking but playing a false shot every now and then. But then we have a couple of youngsters in Shanto and Zakir Hassan as well. So I would expect Shakib and Mushfiqur to deliver for them in a big way. We shouldn't forget Mominul, who batted really well in the first innings. I do think he's going to have a bit of trouble playing Ashwin, but it's going to be interesting to see how things unfold.
And India will be looking to do well enough to finish this test match on day 4. That's what they'll be looking at. They do not want to stretch it to day 5 like last time. But make sure that you sign up for Cricbuzz Plus. That's where you can watch match clips, interviews, features, all that content available for all of you only on Cricbuzz Plus. Remember, it's all ad-free. What else is happening on Cricbuzz? Lots is happening with the IPL auction on as well. India's favorite trio, there they are, smiley faces. They do indulge in a fair bit of wordplay as well. Gaurav Kapoor, Harsha Bhogle, Joy Bhattacharya, the man with the stories. Our IPL 2023 auction special is on, and every time there's a break at the auction, you don't need to go anywhere. Just go to Cricbuzz Live on Cricbuzz and watch all that's happening in the auction and the chatter around it, and what the teams are doing and what the big buys are and what the hits and misses are. All that available courtesy Gaurav Kapoor, Harsha Bogle, and Joy Bhattacharya. These two faces will be back tomorrow on Cricbuzz Chatter at Stumps on day 3. See you then.